Hey y'all, making a batch of hummingbird feed. Basically I put 4 cups of water and 1 cup of sugar, and I let it start up and let it dissolve in the water, and I heat it up to a boil. And then you just basically cut it off and let it cool off real good before you put it in your hummingbird feeders. I have 2, so I split mine up between the 2. Just now getting things kind of taken care of. I'm having one of those days where I just can't get up and get going. Y'all ever have one of them days where you get up and you try to push yourself to go and it ain't happening? So I'm going to go out here and finish off my chores. We're going to go see the girls, and then I'm going to do a roundabout and take a look at my flowers, and I figured I'd let y'all come along with me. Well, hello there, Coco baby. Did you not come in when the rest of them come in? Come on. Come on, girl. She loves being out here in the sun. Come on. Coco. Come on. Come here, girl. Come on. Come on. She's like, but Mom, it feels so good out here. Go. Okay, well, I'll let you stay out a little bit longer. I'm gonna go ahead and put my shoes on. I put these on. These are my working shoes so I don't get everything messed up when I go in the coop. I've got some straw here that I'm gonna take out to the girls. I put that in their nesting boxes. And straw is really not recommended to use in your chicken coop because it can get moldy real quick. But I just use this in their bedding, nowhere else in the coop, to have a nice place to lay their eggs. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Did y'all think I had something to eat? Look, I just changed that water a couple days ago, and they've already then gotten it dirty. Y'all think I have something good to eat? Not this go around. Look at them. Look at them come running. We're gonna get y'all some straw in here, because y'all have done kicked out the rest of it. Make sure that's... Hello, ladies. What's up? Put this in here. I need to move out the way. Let me set that down. This is another chore I need to do too. I need to clean out their little area. So I'm going to get to that today. But first things first, we're going to go in here. This is always the tricky part, trying to get in here and not let the other girls in this other divide. It won't be much longer before I can let them out with the other girls. Y'all decided to join me in here, huh? You think that's something good to eat, Winnie? I'm gonna go down here. I got rid of the flies, but the gnats have not left us yet. So I'm gonna try to find a remedy for that. But basically, I just take a little bit, and I just put a little bit in there, enough for them to nest on. Hello, girlie. Already got one cozying up in there. You like that? Do you like that, girl? Yeah. So now that I got them all filled up, get the excess right here. Let's put it in one of these. I had to cut the camera. It's like an obstacle course to get through that gate that divides them up. I know they'll be happy when they'll be able to join the rest of the flock, but we're just not quite there yet. You would think they look old enough to go with the flock, and they surely are, but They have to stay on that chick feed starter for 15 weeks. And so that is the reason why I'm still having to keep them in the brooder area. And so hopefully, I think sometime the end of this month, the 6 chickens can go out. And then next month in July, the other ones can follow after. Co has decided to follow us on our walkabout. I figured I'd start on this end behind the chicken coop. This is kind of like our just wildly grown hill. I throw a little bit of everything on it. I'm trying to keep it from eroding. It has eroded a whole lot since we've moved here. But I wanted to start on this end. I have in this bed right here some strawberries, and they fared halfway decent, but we just hadn't had a whole lot of rain, so they haven't done as well as I would have liked them to. We've got some cactuses over here that are blooming this lovely yellow flowers. We had a whole bunch of this on our property when we moved out here. I don't know exactly what kind of cactus it is. I pulled up the majority of it, but I left this back here because, as you can tell, I put some bricks around it to contain it so it wouldn't do a free-for-all. I've got some irises over here. Got some white yarrow. Yarrow is very good for medicinal purposes. I've got a lot of that. And last year, I did some wildflower seed from the box store. And it didn't come up last year, but a lot of them, if you can tell, you can look through here. We've got a lot of them that have came up this year. These are even kind of getting the white where they spread their seeds. So maybe, hopefully, when the wind blows, it'll spread some more seeds. This is an old wood from my old coop that I put over there. I've got plans for it later, but right now that's where everything kind of lies. I've got some daylilies right here, and as you can see down there on the edge of the embankment, they're starting to pop. I had planted some black-eyed Susies right here. They're coming up, but they haven't flowered yet. These over here have done wonderful. They're very tall and pretty. And I've got my lemon balm over here. I planted some more black-eyed Susies recently right through here. And I've done some sunflowers that the birds have volunteered. I've got some irises on this embankment and some daylilies. Some more, well, not daylilies, but tiger lilies right through here. They'll be coming up probably in July. That's usually when they come up. And then over here on this side is some lilies that a friend of mine gave me when she moved. And they have come up. And I know a lot of this doesn't look like much on this hill, but eventually it will be busting full of color once I get more things planted. It's just a work in progress. And then over here I did some the wildflower box seeds, and I've got some stuff coming up. And I had some irises. They've already spent. I've got this grass that I burnt off last year. I don't know exactly what you would call this, but you can burn it off each year and then it comes back lush and green like that. That was here before, already here before we moved here. I do have some cactuses in these beds. I look like I got some yarrow. That yarrow goes everywhere. Same for over here. The iris is already spent, and I've got the grass stuff over here. So we're gonna walk over here towards the shed, and I'm gonna show you the stuff that is closer to the house. These beds, when we got this porch built on, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, I took a bunch of rock and just made some uniformed flower beds. I got my hostas over here. These are more of my variegated hostas. These hostas were actually here up underneath the old porch, so I dug them up and put them in this flower bed. I've got some that's already blooming. They've got like a really pretty white bloom to them. My son gave me these yellow lilies, and then I got some sunflower. The lilies are starting to bud. They have not bloomed yet though, as you can tell. They got the buds on them. So my mom, she gave me some calendula, and it's still doing all right. And I've got some more yarrow. I got some pink yarrow over here that has spread pretty nicely. These right here are called balloon flowers, and they've got the buds on them. I was hoping before I did this video that they would be flowered up, but they look like a big fat balloon, and then they open up into a real pretty purple color. You can see the purple on that one really good, and it's starting to spread. This comes back every year, and I put some lilac, and these two on this end, especially that one on the very end, have done very well. I love the smell of lavender. That's one of my favorite scents. I do like vanilla also, but my game goal is to have this side of the walkway and the other side of the walkway filled with lavender, so when you come down the walkway you smell that gorgeous scent of lavender. I've got some orange mint right here that a friend of mine gave me, and it's doing exceptionally well. I've got the azalea bush right here. It blooms pink. It usually does its thing in the early spring. And of course, y'all knew I had some daffodils planted, and they've done their thing. We've cut them off. I put some zinnias over here, and I've got a few that are coming up. I might have to plant some more because this side we don't have a gutter on the roof, and so I think it's kind of washed those away. I've got a knockout rose bush right here, and it's still popping new buds. What you want to do with your rose bushes when the flowers get spent is I usually come down, I don't know if y'all could see this real good, I come down to the base of it. I usually use my clippers, and I just take that off and throw it back down to compost, and that will give you more roses throughout the season. I really was hoping my peonies would hold out, but this is one of my peony bushes, and right here are some seeds, so I'm trying to let them dry out, probably plant some more peonies from that. I've got the lavender over here. I had one in the center, but it went away. Then I planted some nasturtiums by seed, and they're coming up pretty good. I got the Alaskan variegated one right here. And these right here, my mom gave me, and they have done tripled in size. She gave me a clump of it the other year, and they just have spread, but we have no idea what they are. So if you have any tips on what kind of flower this is, drop a comment down below and let me know, because we have no idea what they are, but they are beautiful yellow flowers on it. I've got my black-eyed Susies bushed out. Before too long, they should be popping some flowers. And I've got some echinacea over here that's starting to put off flower buds, so they should be blooming too. I got a volunteer watermelon seed. We had company over 2 years ago, and every year we get watermelon up here. So that's nice, don't have to plant that. And those are the bigger watermelons. So I did the sugar baby watermelons down at the garden, so I'll have my big one up here, the bigger watermelons up here. Then I got some more nasturtiums. Now I've got 3 of these, and there's one right here and another one on the other side of that bush. Other side of that seat, and they've been coming up every year, but no blooms yet, so I don't know what's going on with that. I've got some chrysanthemums that my husband bought me last year and decided to stick them in the ground, and they are going crazy wild. They are only supposed to be annuals, but I have found out that if you put them in the ground, they sometimes come back. And then I've got some lamb's ear right there. I've got a bigger one over here. And I just love the coloration on these. It's beautiful, and the feel of them, they're so soft. And then I've got some more nasturtiums and some marigolds coming up. These are some lucky clover, and they bush out and spread. The flowers open up during the day and close at night. My icicles, they do the same thing, and my attempt is to have the whole border filled with those eventually as they spread out. There's my other peony plant on the other side. Got another wee little nasturtium right there. And these are kind of like a rustic sunflower that I put in. I'm tickled pink to see what they will turn out to look like. They're supposed to be like yellow and has some burgundy in them. So a lot of times I go precariously wild with the seeds and just plant all over. Sometimes I forget what I plant. And a lot of times some of that stuff doesn't come up. But I will tell you, don't stop planting, because the following year, like I said, the wildflowers on the hill came up. They didn't come up the year before, but they came up this year. And I also have a hollyhock that I planted last year. Let me show you. And it's starting to come up. I planted it last year, didn't have it coming up, but this year I look like I'm going to get lucky. Then I planted some zinnias over here. I planted these all at the same time. And it's wild how some of them were shorter, but these on the end have just busted with joy. They have just really taken off. So I'm looking forward to seeing on the flowers on these and the coloration. It's going to be so beautiful. These beds that I got back here, I've got 3 of them. I got one over here. Got one over here, and then I've got one right there. A lot of them have irises that have been spent. I've got some volunteer sunflowers coming up, and I've actually got some, let's flip it around and show you. Gladiolas are coming up right here, and on that end as well. And the irises, I leave the leaves for a little while, like I said, and I trim these stems off. I hadn't got to these up here, but I leave it as a beautiful green backdrop. See, I got another wild volunteer sunflower coming up right there. And once they get kind of yellowy and not so good looking, I usually cut them down to the ground. I got this rose bush from Ashlyn, Chance's girlfriend, and I need to pull some of these off. They've kind of done their thing. We're supposed to be getting some more rain tonight, so hopefully. We've just been kind of really dry, and you can tell that from the flowers that they're hanging in there. I'm getting new stems, but it's just been so dry. The other side over here, here's another volunteer sunflower. This one I think is getting ready to put off a flower. I've got a Rose of Sharon bush over here. It usually puts off these big, wide pink flowers. I want to look. I'll check it out on this sunflower. It's getting close, y'all. It's getting real close. And before I let y'all go, I also wanted to show y'all something before I take care of the hummingbird feeder. So we did a video a few days back on microgreens, and I wanted to show y'all. I started noticing stuff popping up on the 4th day, and it said it takes about 5 to 10 days for them to germinate. So check this out. Look And the baby's coming up. Happy born day. They are all starting to come up. That's the top tray. I'll show you the bottom tray. So before too long, we'll be able to give some to the chickens and test it out for ourselves in a salad. I hope that y'all enjoyed the roundabout tour of all my flowers, even though a lot of them haven't bloomed yet. But that's what I had today. Not much going on the homestead. Just chores and getting things done and trying to get motivated. Y'all have a great day, and we'll be talking to you soon on the next vlog.